Hey guys, how's it going? Brad Riley here and welcome to another video. And in this one today, I'm going to be speaking about how social media marketing is going to change in 2021. So if you have or currently run a social media agency or are looking to get started, make sure you watch until the end of this video because I've got a bunch of value for you. Now, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And if you are interested in having me personally mentor you, I'd like to invite you to check out the link in the description for my Entrepreneur Accelerator Mastermind. Super low value, you get my ongoing support. You can join the hundreds of other success students part of the community. So check that out, the link is in the description. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So as somebody who's now run an agency over the last 4 years, I've actually got 4 tips for you as to what I foresee happening in the SMMA space going into next year. Now, just to preface it straight off the bat, is social media marketing dying? Is it becoming oversaturated? Absolutely not. I actually have for you today 4 things that are going to be deemed positive for the space, even though we're amidst the pandemic right now with obviously COVID and all the other things that are going on in the world. It's actually a benefit to social media marketing. So what I want you to get out of this video today, if anything, is some motivation to the industry is actually going to be growing. There's going to be more demand than ever. And if you are looking to get started, there's no better time to jump in than right this second. So start with the first thing though that's going to change going into 2021 is going to be algorithms. Now, as mentioned, I've run an agency now over the last 4 years. Initially, when I started my business, I started offering social media management and then transitioned that into Facebook advertising as a core service. Now, algorithms are something I've had to deal with changing, honestly, dozens and dozens of times over the last few years. You know, when I first started in the space, I could go on Instagram with a client account and follow thousands of people a day, and they would get thousands of followers every single month. The engagement was high, things were great. Fast forward now 4 years, Facebook now owns Instagram, and Instagram is turning into Facebook, and the fact that reach is getting lower, the algorithms have changed massively. You can no longer use bots, you can't do follow, unfollow. There's a million things that have changed, and that's in a 4-year period, right? And throughout that 4 years, a million other changes have happened, and that's just on Instagram, and that's one platform, right? Then you have Facebook and Facebook ads, you have the Facebook ads platform, you have laws changing stuff. You know, a while ago, there was a Cambridge Analytica scandal, all to do with data, and Facebook took a massive hit with that. There were changes with the pixel and all sorts of things happened. And again, these things are going to continue to happen moving forward. So the first thing that's going to change is algorithms are going to change. Every single day, things are happening within Facebook, within the Facebook ads interface, you know, that are changing. You know, one day this thing is going to be the best way to run ads. The next day, another strategy is going to be best. They're going to implement and change things. You know, CBO becoming the norm. The Facebook pixel and retargeting is going to be changing moving forward. So the thing is, this should never ever stop you from starting a business, because you have to, as an entrepreneur, adapt and change. And to be honest, the most successful entrepreneurs are the people who stay ahead of the curve. And the best way you can do that is by constantly, you know, watching videos like this. You know, if you're part of my community, obviously I constantly update training and stuff like that to do with the algorithm. So it's to constantly not just, you know, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you aren't these kind of people, but don't just do a bit of training and expect that to be it. Continuously educate yourself, stay on top of the algorithm changes. You know, be somewhere, be a part of a community or something, be Facebook groups, whether it's the Entrepreneur Accelerator Mastermind. Become part of something where you're constantly updating, aware of the changes and algorithm things that are going on, just so then you can stay ahead of the curve and it doesn't affect you negatively. And if anything, you'll be one step ahead of all your competitors and end up, you know, benefiting from the algorithm changes. Because what you've got to understand is an algorithm change doesn't just happen on your Facebook ad account. An Instagram algorithm change doesn't just happen on your Instagram page. You know, it happens to everybody. So if you can adapt, if you can stay ahead of the curve, continuously invest in your education, not necessarily financially, but I'm saying, you know, in terms of time into education and learning and staying ahead of the curve, then you're not going to struggle with that. But obviously it changes 24/7. So going into 2021, there's going to be a lot more algorithm changes. So number 2, there is going to be more demand than ever. Think about it, with COVID, with the pandemic, businesses have been hit, especially local companies. They have been hit because they're not generating as much revenue. Now, if you're doing social media marketing for a business, and providing you're doing it properly, if you're getting good results for a company, this is not relevant if you're getting bad results. If you're getting bad results, then obviously it's negative. If you are able to find good clients and get them good results, then you're going to be more in demand. Think about it. Let's say there's a company and they've got 10 employees, and let's say you're that freelancer or agency is a part of those 10, right? And you're single-handedly bringing in $10,000 every single month in revenue for that business through your advertising. And let's say the company has to make cuts. Do you think, as the agency, as the freelancer, you're going to be the first person to get cut? Your team's going to be the first team to get cut when you're the one bringing in, say, 10K a month in revenue. You know, maybe there's other services, there's admin staff, there's other people people with part of the business that whilst they are there, they're not bringing in the revenue that you are. So what you have to understand is that if you're doing your job properly, it's a good client, you're getting them great results, you should be making your clients a decent amount more money than what they're paying you. And in a time like COVID, there is nothing more important to business owners than revenue, because revenue allows them to stay alive. Revenue allows them to pay their employees and them staff, pay themselves to make their bills at the end of the month. So ultimately, if you're bringing in that revenue from offering a great service, you're going to be the last person, one of the last people that ever gets cut out of a business, okay? So what you have to understand is this isn't, even though businesses are still going to be struggling, there's going to be issues, there're going to be budget cuts. Most of the time, your company, your agency are going to be one of the later cuts, providing you actually get results. So just on a separate tip here, make sure you're well educated in what you're doing. Make sure you're getting great results, because if you are, I promise you, this isn't going to be a negative. It's going to be a positive. And also, like, what you have to understand is a lot of businesses nowadays are online based anyway. So if anything, for some of my clients, I've noticed results have gone up since COVID because less local businesses are advertising and ad costs are cheaper, and results have actually got better for those companies. So just something to consider. So the third thing that's going to change in SMMA going into 2021, similar to the second tip really, it's just there's going to be more of a push for companies to hire agencies and freelancers. I think there's been a big realization this year that businesses can operate without this expensive office space. You know, there's companies in London that spend millions and millions of dollars a year on their office space. Now with COVID forcing everybody to have to work from home, a lot of people are realizing they don't need that massive overhead, and they don't necessarily need their employees to come in-house and work every single day. They don't need to work out of the office. So what this is gonna lead to is a more of a push for companies to hire external anyway. Like if their actual team, their in-house payroll team are working from home, there's no difference for them getting somebody on payroll than getting an agency. And what you have to often understand is it can often be a lot cheaper for a company to hire an agency or a freelancer than an employee on payroll. You know, here in the UK, when you have an employee, you have to contribute towards their pension. You have to pay employers' national insurance, which is additional to what you pay on terms of their salary. Not only that, you have to give them, obviously fair enough, you have to give them holiday entitlement. If they're sick, they're entitled to sick pay. There's all this stuff, you know, that goes on as a payrolled employee, all these additional entitlements, additional payments that companies have to make. And not only that, often you will find, especially, you know, somewhere like London, the salaries are going to be pretty high. Even for a standard Facebook advertiser or a marketing manager, they're going to be on a decent whack. They're going to be on a decent salary. And what that often can mean is, even if you're going in and pricing it $2,000-3,000 a month, £3,000 a month for your services, that's still often going to be cheaper than what it's going to cost them to hire in-house. You're going to work 52 weeks a year. You're going to not need any training. You know, you're going to be there to support. You're going to be part of their Slack channel. You can communicate, have meetings on Zoom, but it's just not in-house. And you're often, because you're not straight out of uni and you've indulged yourself in this information, you live and breathe social media marketing, compared to the employee who at the end of the day is there for a paycheck and can't wait to get home at the end of the day. Often, not always, but often hiring an agency or freelancer is going to be a more appealing option for companies. So if anything, there's going to be more demand for that, because as mentioned, companies are realizing now they don't need all this expensive overhead for offices, and they don't need all of their employees to come in 24/7. And companies where they just wanted to hire straight out of graduation and hire in-house, a lot of them are going to look for external sources and more so favor experience over anything, which is obviously something, if you build up your agency, that you can offer. So that's another real benefit and change I see happening. Now, the fourth and final change I see happening here, and this is more of an adaptation that you have to make as an agency owner, but a benefit though nonetheless if you adapt, is that you're going to look to need to target more online-based acquisition methods for your agency. You know, a lot of people focus purely on local companies. You know, a lot of people teach this as well, and it definitely works, but often a lot of people, when they start their agency, they start with local. They think, what businesses in my local area can I offer Facebook advertising, social media marketing services to? And they cold call, they go in store, and they set up their meetings, and they do it that traditional kind of method. However, now everything is going online. Meetings are all based on Zoom. You know, your outreach methods are all going to have to be online based. And because of that, because not always, but a lot of them will have to transition into that. And the benefit for that is you no longer have to just focus on local companies. You know, I've never focused on local businesses. I've always, from day one over the last 4 years, got the majority of my clients online, okay? And pretty much all of my clients, to be honest. And that's really been a benefit of me, because I'm not casting a small net just to a local area. I'm able to cast this massive net across the whole world. It doesn't matter where my clients are from. You know, I've got clients in Australia, I've got clients in America, all around Europe, in the UK, literally everywhere across the world. And nowadays with tools such as Slack and Zoom, it it doesn't make any difference. And I think, this has been something I've been doing and my students have been doing for a long time. But I think naturally the business owners as well, who before maybe only wanted to hire local, are now going to be willing to hire online. There's nothing stopping you, if you live in London, calling up, cold emailing, sending a loom to a company over in Australia. Why not, right? Transition your outreach into not just local businesses, but also online-based methods. There's job sites, you can do cold emailing, you can do Upwork, there's people per hour, there's Groupon you can use as a method, LinkedIn, there's so many ways to acquire clients online now. So this may not be of benefit to you anyway, but if you do purely focus on local businesses right now may be the time to transition into focusing more with online-based methods for your agency. Now, just as a final note here, this isn't really like a final point, but it's just a final tip I have for you, which is to jump in now. I see so many people scared and worried to jump in with everything going on right now, but it's the exact reason why you should jump into social media marketing today. You look at a diamond, right? Diamonds are created under extreme levels of pressure. What's happening right now is everyone else is feeling this pressure and pressure and pressure. And if you can push through that, don't let fear take control of you, and don't be worried. And at the end of the day, the whole world right now is contracting, right? The whole world is shrinking up, worried, scared. But at the same time, diamonds are created out of that pressure, right? And you can be that diamond if you jump in right now. There is so much opportunity, there's so much demand right now. And you look back to 2008 and stuff like that, and with the recession, and you look at some of the companies that were built during that time frame, some of the biggest, most successful companies that you know today, the apps you have on your phone that you use probably almost daily, a lot of those companies were started during the recession. Okay, there were people that contracted and people that got scared and didn't do anything. There were people that, even amidst what was going on, jumped in, worked really hard, worked smart, and pushed through it, and were able to succeed. So with you right now, if that maybe is you've got some limiting beliefs, do not let you hold it back. I'm here to be confirmation and tell you right now is the best time you can possibly jump in to social media marketing. Don't let anything hold you back. And if you are looking for more guidance, I've got hundreds of videos here on the YouTube channel. Go back, pretty much all of the videos that I posted even over the last couple of years is still relevant today. I've got training on how to acquire customers, sell, price, everything is on the YouTube channel. And if you're looking for even more in-depth advanced training, I also offer some of the most valuable and low-cost training on the entire market for social media marketing. Okay, it's actually $29 a month. There's no long contracts. I don't sell like $1,000 course or anything. You can get me to support you, my team to support you. We have weekly live calls. There's hundreds of hours worth of in-depth training, and we have some of the most crazy success stories in the whole industry, and it's super low cost. Okay, my goal is to help as many people as possible. So if you're interested in that, the 30-day money back guarantee policy, there's not some like crazy like terms of service where you have to do this XYZ to get your refund. Look, if you do the whole month and after 29 days it's not for you, we'll give you a refund, no questions asked. But what I'd invite you to do is, if you really are looking to take your business to the next level, jump into that, because I would love to support you on your journey. My team would love to help you, and there's hundreds of hours worth of content to help you get ahead during the pandemic. Anyway, I hope you guys are fantastic. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to drop a like and drop a comment down below with any questions that you have. Thanks again so much for watching. The links to everything mentioned today is in the description down below. And I want to see each and every single one of you watching this right now take what I've said and put it into action. And by the time 2021 comes around, you're already going to be miles and miles ahead in the competition. Miles and miles ahead to when, if you just started on the new year, imagine you could have 3, 4, 5 clients by that time frame. Okay, and your life could be transformed. So anyway, I hope you found value in this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.